What's good, people? Back like we left the oven on. Jack of all spades, CLT. As always, I'm the beloved one, DJ Spellman. To my left, we got the boy, Pride of Africa.
Yo, shout out to the home country, DRC.
To the right, always, we got Banks on the beat.
Yes, sir. Banks on the beat. Blue Water Banks. Lloyd Henry Whitfield Jr. Don't steal my social.
And today we have a special guest to me. I got my younger brother, the Red Power Ranger, Jason Spellman.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, man. So I got to explain that. People might not understand. If you don't know me, I'm about to pull the curtain back. So when my mother was pregnant with Jason, she asked me and my sister, okay, if it's a boy, what do you want to name it? If it's a girl, what do you want to name it? So by that time, this was the early 90s, 93, 94. Power Rangers was a big thing in it. We were living in Guam, but we still had the U.S. channels. So my favorite Ranger was the Red Ranger, Jason. He was the leader. People might say the Black Ranger, but look, he wasn't the leader.
So you was responsible for the name.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm the reason why my younger brother is named Jason. But it's all love, man. We just spent a great day. He bust my ass in some ping pong. But
Can I ask Jason a question?
Go ahead.
Jason, if you can name DJ, what would you name DJ?
I don't know, probably DJ.
Yeah, I'm named after the great David Spellman Sr., so it is what it is. But we have a special episode because it's the last episode for the year. This will be our 2019 Jack of all spades recap.
Yes, sir.
Recap.
So it's going to be more freestyle than the usual setup. So the first thing on the docket is getting started. Anybody want to take the lead on that? How you feel about what it took for us to get to this point, ups and downs, and then, with this being the last episode, how do y'all feel about what we 7-8 episodes in?
Yeah, facts. I think with the beginning, even furthermore, this question came from our guy Mike, who did the Rinse and Repair episode. Mike Naaman, shout out. But yeah, one of his biggest things he said in getting started with business was getting started, just getting rolling in the first place. And with us, I think it took some patience. I think it took a lot of time. It took a lot of just trying, period. We did a lot of things that we started off with that we didn't end up with now. And, it became like the structure for what we became. So, time and patience and steady work and focus on everything. We molded it.
Yeah, we did a lot of growing pains. We had those initial mocks. I don't think so ugly.
that will never see the light of day.
I don't think so ugly, but with each podcast, things are getting better. It's getting better. It's a learning experience. DJ, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, truth be told, yeah, of course we know this, but the listeners might not know this, but we've been working on this project going on, 3-4 years? We've been talking about doing something like this for a long time.
We want to be real, yeah.
And like you said, what Mike mentioned in his episode is, for anybody that wants to get anything established, you really do have to just get started. And we were procrastinating for the longest.
No, I don't think it was procrastination. I think it was like we're trying to wait for the perfect moment. And there is no perfect moment, though. You just got to go ahead and just jump into it.
Facts.
It's a little bit of both. It was a little bit of both. Because, like you said, we were also trying to perfect everything. So at the same time, figuring out the kinks of what we wanted to be and what we were going to talk about. Because that was another thing, right? Yeah. We went for like a whole 4 months of saying, okay, what's going to be like, what are our topics? Like, what are we going to talk about week in, week out? Like, what's the purpose of the podcast? What are people going to tune in for? And, it took some time, but, enough knocking on the door, we came up with something.
True.
I mean, I like the direction that we chose for the podcast because we really don't have a lane. We've really touched on a lot of different subjects, and we brought a lot of, highlighted a lot of different people, which is something that I'm big on. Like, I know we could have definitely talked about dating for every single episode, but we didn't want to do that. There's so many podcasts that strictly deal with dating. Yeah. So I'm glad that we chose the lane that we did, which is really no lane. We're a little bit here, we're a little bit there. We just get the people what they want.
I That's true. Them first 4 mocks on the videos, number relationships. Nigga, DJ was like, nigga, you talking about relationships again?
No doubt. Nothing wrong with relationships, but
facts.
I didn't want the whole, series of the podcast to be focused solely on relationships.
Yeah, I think we was talking about sports at one point, and then the filming thing, and we thought we were going to begin with just filming the podcast and actually seeing us on camera. It's something I think we're going to develop into coming into this new year, hopefully. But everything at the right time. Timing is everything.
Yeah, man. You don't get the fruit as soon as you plant the seed. So we're just trying to, do the natural process and let things grow organically. But number 2 on today's episode, we have Dear Summer, which you can tune into that episode. Probably one of the favorites of mine. So we got Dear Summer versus the most recent trip that we took to Miami. So we got Dear Summer versus Miami 2019. Shit. Want to start that one off?
Before and after a 10-year challenge, almost.
Straight up, it really has been 10 years. That's crazy.
Man,
that's
when
crazy.
you're 30.
Yeah, right.
Yo, matter of fact, let me hashtag mangoes don't hit the same. Big up YBB on that. So if y'all don't know about Mangoes in Miami, South Beach, it's one of the most famous clubs down there. They have Michael Jackson impersonators. They have 3 or 4 different rooms, different DJs. Yeah, it's a good look. So the first time we went down there, of course we were young boys in it, and we had a great time there. Like, it was our first experience. I mean, it might have been college spring break. Like, it was what it was.
That shit was magical.
Yeah, so this time around, 10 years later, we a little bit more mature. The mindset is definitely different. So we sitting up in there while people looks at me. It's like, yo, mangoes don't hit the same in your 30s.
Definitely don't. Shit.
But does anybody have another highlight from this past trip? Even though it was very different.
Highlight?
Nigga, there's plenty of highlights.
Yeah, I mean, speak on it. Speak on it.
When we go to what was that club? That club we went to?
11.
So yeah, we get to the door. I'm thinking like, my mom like, all right, cool. I'm gonna pay 50. I'm good with that. I'm cool with 50.
You told yourself 50 before you got to the door?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right, we gonna pay 50. I'm cool with 50. We get to the door, niggas like $150 for the guys, $100 for the girls. I'm like, these niggas gonna pay this shit. I was like, oh, shit.
I wasn't all the way with it, but
Nigga,
I was definitely the last one in. Well, there was somebody was behind me, but I was watching to see where everybody else went, and I was packing my pockets.
As soon as Jimmy and P put the money out,
they was going first.
I was like, damn. I put my card out, slide that shit. As soon as we get to the club, the first song that I remember that shit, the first song they played was the Rhythm of the Night. I'm like, what the fuck? I paid $100 for the Rhythm of the Night. And then Post Malone's performing. I'm like, I don't even play Post Malone.
Straight up. We went to a quasi concert. I ain't even care about Post Malone. Big up Post Malone, but nigga. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm a fan.
No, I'm not a fan of the least bit. I'm like,
I had to make some of that money back while I was in the club.
Oh,
people to get in the bathroom. Homie came up to me. He had to go to the bathroom. Yo, it was probably we was upstairs. Post Malone was on stage, and I just got online for the bathroom. The guy, I don't know if somebody's taking shit in there or whatever, but I was waiting in line at least 10 minutes, and there was probably about 4 or 5 people behind me. All of a sudden, the drunk dude walked up to me. He's like, "Yo, I'll pay you to get in the bathroom ahead of you." I was like, "All right, bet. What you got?" Bro said he had 10. I was like, "Bro, it's gonna take 20 to get in front of you." I was like, "I got people behind me. They can hear you." So he threw me that dub, and then homeboy that was behind him, he was like, "Yo, I'll give you 10 too." And I'm like, "Nah, you know what that is." And I gave homeboy behind me 5 for it just because you watch the transaction. I ain't gonna leave you hanging. You gotta wait too, but
yeah,
you got a little bit of something back. But it got spent at the bar either way.
Always gotta stay on your grind.
That shit was...
You never know when the calling is gonna come.
All right.
Nigga.
Also, some things that's gonna stay in Miami that we know.
Oh, okay. I'll keep on talking like nigga. Hey, shit. Fuck it.
Nah, we gonna leave that.
Close that casket.
We gonna leave that in Club 11. But nah, like I said, it was different because one of the people that came with us on that first trip actually lives down there. So shout out Julio and his wife, man. They opened up their townhouse to us. It was about 50 niggas staying in there, but we made it work.
Made it work. Those sandwiches.
Oh, the Cuban press sandwiches.
Yeah.
Shout out my Cubanitos. But this time, YBB didn't eat a million sandwiches.
Nah, it's gonna be conservative.
Yo, the first time, him and Lalo, shout out Lalo, man, he out in LA right now. But these niggas ate up all the food in about 2 days. We was there in Miami for 7 days. They ate up all the food in 2 days. the two little niggas.
We had nothing but spaghetti left and tuna.
That was the most drunk when we went out. Like, I ain't eat earlier. Oh, man, good times, though, for sure.
Oh, yeah, but definitely one of the things that I wanted to do while I was down there in Miami, all the people told me, like, a lot of Cuban friends told me to go to La Careta. So we went there on the day before we left, and the food was as advertised. That shit was banging.
1,000%.
Yeah. Even though we definitely hit the casino, too. That we like to gamble a little bit.
You bringing up food. I said, you want to bring up that drink you got?
Oh, nah. All right, well, we went to Bayside. So we nice over there by the water, big yachts and stuff, whatever.
Sheesh.
It's a nice look, definitely nice spot to take, your female friends, whatever. We go to get some food. I ordered the fish. I said, well, yo, let me get a mojito. She bring me the big fish bowl. Yo, the drink was more than my food. The drink was $45.
Is it worth it?
It damn sure wasn't. So they got me on a $45 mojito, and they got me on a $150 paying to the club.
That shit still hurt me. I'm like, God damn. I went to a Post Malone mini concert for $150. I couldn't tell you a Post Malone song, but one.
Should have saved that money for casino.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, it would have been gone.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
Only people that came up was Julio and Jimmy. Shout out.
That's it. Shout out.
Speaking of, that last night at the casino after we did Club 11, what time did we get out of Club 11?
We got out of Club 11 3?
It was like 4 in the morning.
No, but then we went to the casino straight
Right,
after that.
I know. And we was there for another 2 hours?
Man, we came out the casino when the sun was coming up.
I was so tired.
Look, and I had to drive these niggas back to Fort Lauderdale, Banks and YBB. No, first we went to the airport.
Yeah.
We had to drop them niggas off.
Yep.
Then we went back to Julio's crib, and these niggas went to sleep on me.
Bro, I was going to sleep in the car on the way from the airport. While BB was in the back sleep already. You drove, so I respected that. But as we were getting there, we finally looked at the time, and it was like, bro, we've been up 25 hours.
Yo, straight up.
From 9 to 10 o'clock. I think we got back home at 10 or some shit, man. It was like, yo, I was struggling to keep my eyes open just getting home.
And we 30-something. That shit ain't the same.
Yeah, right?
That shit is not the same.
Then we had the Breakfast of Champions. We had that McDonald's on our way back. Tore my stomach all the way up. But yeah, man, that's what it was, man. Shout out Miami. We definitely will get down there soon. Matter of fact, I know Banks is gonna be down there in the next coming weeks.
In Miami?
Art Basel?
You going to Art Basel?
Nah, I'm passing this year.
Okay.
I'm passing on it this year. I'm gonna get back right. But ain't you going?
No. I was trying to go next year.
Okay, all right.
But I don't know if I'm going or not, because I'm supposed to be going to Paris. So.
Swag.
That nigga fancy pinky up squad.
Nah.
All right, so now we want to get on to the music, man. And if the listeners know, we're big into the music. So we want to talk about our favorite artists, favorite albums of 2019. Who want to start that discussion off?
I'll let Banks start that shit off.
Gonna let me start it off?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I'm a music head, but I'm a little bit everywhere at the same time. So it's like I listen to my old shit, I get my new shit. I try to compare and go through some stuff, get some inspiration from some things. I think what's the last thing? Of course, right now I'm listening to that Fab. Of course, Summertime Shootout 3.
Yeah.
I think we all on that right now.
Dropped on Black Friday if you didn't know.
I'm kind of sort of on it a little bit.
Don't get dropped quick,
Open up,
YBB.
open up, man.
I'm
Stop
not a
playing.
huge Fab fan.
Okay.
I mean, I listened to that Game Heavy that came out.
Was that Born to Rap?
Born to Rap. That's pretty smooth. I was trying to give.
Oh, definitely. Hold on.
Like
Time
on the
out.
same level.
Time out.
What's up?
Time the fuck out.
What's up?
Fab and Game, definitely not.
As far as him
Wait a
saying,
second.
I'm listening to Game and I'm not listening to Fab. I feel like if you're gonna listen to one and not listen to the other, it's like,
So you think Fab better than Game?
same ballpark.
They in the same ballpark.
Do you forget who you talking to?
Nigga, I know you're a Fab
Who my
fan,
favorite
man.
rapper? Hold on. Who my favorite rapper? But I will admit though, let me say this.
Game
Like,
can
let
get
me
busy.
keep it transparent.
All right.
This mixtape is not on the level as some previous mixtapes.
Okay, I
You
give
know,
you
the
that.
Soul tapes,
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3,
Right.
Whole lot
definitely
better.
were better. Of course, if I take it back, Loso's way back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, it's not on that level, but it's still a good listen.
Yeah, good.
What I heard
Yeah.
was good. I like what I heard.
Yeah.
Drop Summertime Shootout in the winter, but you know, either way, it got here for the year was up.
Yeah.
Is that a thing that's going on as far as, playing like old beats and then refurbishing the old beats? Tory Lanez did his whole refurbishing of old beats on his joint.
Yeah,
But that was a big up though on that Jerry Sprunger though.
Yeah, that was.
Have you heard the whole tape though?
The whole what's it?
It's called
something 5 like
Chicks Tape.
yeah.
Chick Tape.
Tape
You
five.
heard
I haven't heard the whole.
the whole thing is up the same way.
Yeah.
Every song is
But mostly on mixtapes though, you use other people's beats though. It ain't really original stuff. You gonna put that on the EP. You ain't gonna do that on the mixtape.
But I think more of what it is that, like when we came up, we was listening to Rockefeller, Dipset, and remember all the sample influence then.
Yeah.
Okay, this was back in early 2004 or 5 or whatever. So back then, their point of reference for old music was 70s. That's 20 years ahead of them. So where are we at now? We're in 2019. What was 20 years ago? You're looking at 99, 2000. So now everybody's referencing back to that time right now because that's what's fresh for people again.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point. All right, YBB, what about you on your music tip?
Nigga, like I said, listening to the game a little bit. I'm going through my little list here, but I've been listening to mad old stuff. Old Gucci stuff.
Fat Gucci.
Fat Gucci. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I like the music better. But as far as new stuff for this year, I don't know if I listened to Hood Rich Pablo Juan. I heard this shit DMV. I like that pretty much. But shit like that, really. Nothing too crazy.
I can't get with it, but
You like Hood Rich?
every now and then I hear something and I fuck with it.
I had the research team look up some things for us, the big team that we have. So I'm going to start with February. So we're going to shout out The City, Denero Farrar. He dropped the Re-Up. That was the first studio album, if I'm correct. All right, so we want to big up the local artists, man. So if you from Charlotte, you know Denero Farrar. But for the podcast listeners that we have, we know we have some support out in DR. Check that boy project out. So moving on, I skipped a lot of months because I really didn't see anything that I connected with. But May, we had DJ Khaled. He dropped The Father of Aside. Then one of my favorite tracks at the moment is that Thank You featuring Big Sean. They got a Mary J. Blige sample. Check that out.
I had Higher on there with Nipsey.
Oh yeah.
John Legend.
Big up.
Big up.
Also in May, Jim Jones dropped El Capo, and what the streets is saying, possibly album of the year. Dipset, Bird Game, Capo Status. All right, moving on to July, we got another one that hits close to the city. Dreamville dropped the Revenge of the Dreamers. We got to shout out that Under the Sun track. Big up Luke.
Yes, sir.
Big up the baby. Gold mouth bitch, fuck 'em all.
Yep.
All right, Big Crit. I know we got some fans in the room of Big Crit. He dropped the album. Crit is here. Then me and YBB gonna connect deeply with this one. Burna Boy, Alua Burner, dropped African Giant.
Big ass track.
Yeah, that shit hit too. I ain't gonna front.
Big up Nigeria,
Just
the
peeped
Naja
him
Boys.
on Tiny Desk. He was on Tiny Desk for NPR.
Yeah,
He was on Tiny Desk.
Yeah.
Check
Get
it
the
out.
shit.
Check it out. All right, so August, we got the biggest boss, Ricky Ross, Port of Miami 2. And that single, that song, it's been out for a couple, months, but Gold Roses featuring Drake, that's a top track right there.
Question though, how does it stack up with Port of Miami, the first one? How does it stack up?
When Rick Ross first came out, when he had that, every day I'm hustling, like that was just on another level. And it's crazy because Young Jeezy dropped Thug Motivation 104 in the same month. And it's the same thing. When they first come out, it hits different.
True.
Like after you done, had some success, you don't gotta go as hard. I'm not gonna say that artists are doing that. They're getting, weaker with their delivery. But when you first come out with that first album, if it ain't a banger, you might not get that second one.
I just feel like it wasn't what it's supposed to be compared to the one before, Rather You Than Me. Because that was hitting a little bit differently. And now that you hear, I feel like the latest album was more single driven or feature driven. I think the last one he just put the work in on it by itself, like independently, and it seemed like you can really tune into it because his production ear and his writing and all that, it was more solid. It felt like.
Yeah, true. Moving on down to the months, we got September. Big up the baby 704980. He dropped that Project Kirk.
Kirk.
You know, you can listen to all the singles out right now. You know, right now Bob is taking over the
video,
airwaves. Yeah,
video, right?
Shout out Jabberwockies, man. America's Best Dance Crew, MTV. If you of a certain age, you know what it is. All right, so November, I got to shout out my namesake, David Brewster Jr., a.k.a. Dave East. First studio album.
Survival.
Get it.
He was just in the city 2 weeks ago.
Where? You went to the show?
He was at the Underground. My sister went out there. My cousin went out there too. But
Shout out LaCole.
Yeah, right. Shout out, sister.
First episode, stayed a date in 2019.
Know that.
Surprise guest.
Yeah.
It wasn't even scheduled for that.
But then still staying with November, the album we just talked about, we have, or the mixtape I should say, Fab dropped the Summertime Shootout, number 3. Then something close to my heart. I'm not gonna say I'm the biggest Action Bronson fan, but he teamed up with the boy ALC, aka the Alchemist.
I keep hearing good shit about that.
Lamb over rice in it.
I'm gonna go ahead and download it now so I don't forget though.
All right. So then moving on to the last month of the year, we got December, my birth month. Shout out to all the Sagittarius. We got 2 big projects coming out. So to me, this guy is one of the most underrated lyricists. We got Fat Joe dropping Family Ties.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then we got Killer Cam supposedly dropping Purple Haze 2. December 13th is what I've heard. We gonna see though. We gonna see.
We
Hold
need
on a
that.
second. Isn't Jones dropping another project too before the year's out?
Who?
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones?
Didn't he say that?
I don't know if it's gonna be an actual album. It might be a mixtape.
Mixtape? But yeah.
But then
Haze
the
2?
two, the Fat Joe and the Cameron, those are gonna
That's
be
confirmed.
studio mixtape. I mean studio albums, I should say.
Hold on. Who's that guy who came out with an album recently? Griselda. You listen to him?
I listened to previous songs, but I haven't listened to a whole project yet.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, if you need to hear spitters, I mean, they from Buffalo, they get it in.
You get it?
Oh, you talking about West Side Gun?
Yeah.
So they
Conway.
Yeah.
was it
Who
Conway
else too?
Machine?
Is this them too?
I think it's somebody else too.
Yeah.
but
Is it Butcher?
Benny the Butcher.
Benny the Butcher. There it is.
So
Yeah.
they rock the Alchemist Hard Body too, so you know I'm gonna give it a listen.
Oh, it's a matter of time.
Yeah, they got a song, Conway and West Side Gun, 1,000 Birds, that Alchemist produced. Check it out. You know Alchemist killed the samples.
True.
That's my nephew.
Honorable mentions. I was listening to that Jadena this year.
Okay.
What was it? 85 to Africa.
Yeah.
Okay. Lucky Day Painted. He said Dave East. Partisan Fontaine just dropped a project. And the Queen and Slim soundtrack. That's pretty.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can't forget
I
what's the
beg my
name soundtrack
pardon. Yeah,
too?
you definitely got to talk about that one.
What's that? Is it King of Harlem?
King of Harlem. Oh, Godfather of Harlem.
Godfather of Harlem.
I didn't get to that, but I mean, you know, I do know the DMX and Swiss song that came out. The lead
Yo,
single.
Pusha T got a track on there. It's crazy. It's called No Patience. Yo, yeah, listen to that track. Pusha T.
Hey, you already know we drop gems on the podcast. So, you know, big up your iTunes, look up these tracks, and get familiar. All right, so with this being a wrap-up episode, we want to talk about some of the memes that had y'all rolling throughout the year. So who want to go ahead and take a stab at it? What memes had you rolling?
Nigga, that cat meme be killing me, bro.
That was the first thing, right?
You know, at first I didn't get it. I'm like, what's this shit? Then after a while, I'm like, yo, this shit is actually really funny.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
But it can really relate to every situation. I sent Banks one per that what was it the Tyler the Creator festival he just had.
Drake.
So the girl was like, "You said you were gonna bring Frank Ocean," and then they had the cat with the wig, the blonde wig, like Tyler be wearing. Like I said, Drake, and y'all all know how that turned out.
He got booed.
The disrespect.
Yeah, man. So yeah, definitely the woman yelling at the cat. That was and that's more recent like that.
That's just recent,
I think
yeah.
I did like during the summer, but it's really picked up momentum.
It's been that. It's been the SpongeBob. All right, I'ma head out.
That
was heavy. Everybody was posting that one.
I seen one as I was doing some research. The Bird Box. Don't forget.
They
Bird Box Challenge.
They had their season.
Yeah. The Keke Palmer. Sorry to this man.
I don't know this man.
That one had me rolling. Then going back to one of our episodes with D-Lo, you know, Comprafino, the Area 51, Area 51 memes.
Yep.
Hopefully you didn't take your dumb ass out there.
Get vaporized.
Yeah, man.
Vaporize.
Then one I found that I didn't really fuck with, but I seen a lot of celebrities doing it. But the bottle cap challenge, if y'all remember about that,
that was early as shit. Yeah. And then I seen the one with the TT that had she hit the Goya with the slipper, and that shit flew off.
The chancletas.
Yeah, that was hard. That was hard.
I'm sure a lot of people have some traumatic experience when I talk about the chancleta. They done got hit upside the head many times. All right, so we just touched on the music. We just touched on the memes. Now let's get into more about Jack of All Spades CLT. So I'm going to start with Banks. What would you say were your best moments from this past season?
My best moments from this past season, just like on the actual podcast or just overall doing it?
It's up to you, my boy. Like,
okay, overall on the podcast, first and foremost, having my sister on the first one, that meant a lot. And,
shout out.
We communicate heavy, so, I was happy to have her on there. And she shouted us out everywhere. She was big on it, so I appreciated that. That and us just coming together and putting together what we came to do and being about what we said we was going to be. Like we said in the beginning, just getting started. At the same time, I think all of us interacting and being able to lean on each other and, say, hey, I think we might need this, and being open to criticism and everything. I think that's been a big part of us growing.
Yo, those conversations though, sometimes they get heated.
But
we everybody has their own mind. Like, I don't want to take y'all too far behind the curtain, but it'd be some tough conversation in the group text. Because sometimes niggas do not be seeing eye to eye.
I was like, niggas need to have this conversation in person. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Well, all right, YBB, proud of Africa. What about for you?
My best moments. I think we got to that stage where we started implementing the cartoons. That was pretty cool.
Shout out Sesko.
Yes,
shout out Sesko. He, truth be told, he kind of hard to work with sometimes.
Family is like that.
Hey, nobody wins when the family lose.
Rewind.
It's got to be the Hornitos. Me and Lil Bro been drinking already.
Well, yeah, getting to sit down and actually, do the work and not, be over his shoulder, watching that growth and where it's getting to now. I like that a lot. That's a pretty good addition to the actual podcast, I feel like.
We've seen how much better he's gotten just over like a couple of cartoons. Like,
hey, watch what I tell y'all, podcast listeners. Francesco, he's gonna make it. I'm trying to tell you. Somebody need to get this boy an opportunity. He can do your murals. He can do your graphic design. Like, it's coming. Sesko, be patient, boy. I'm telling you, it's gonna come. And I guess I'll speak on my best moments. Like Banks just alluded to, having your family member here. Like, my little bro just moved back home. I got him here with me right now, man. He I want to big him up too. The reason I wanted to take him out today is he sold his first car. Yeah. So he need a vehicle. And you ain't fucking with Charlotte. You can go to Rock Hill Nissan, holla at Jason Spellman. He'll get you right.
What kind of car he sold?
I was 2019 Nissan Sentra.
Okay.
2019, so that means a big commission in it. So next time he gonna take me out. But yeah, like even though we're talking about this right now, that's something, because if you know me and my brother, since of the age difference, we really, haven't chilled like that. So with us being adults, we got the opportunities now. So it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to, spending more time with him. But throughout this season, some of the best moments, honestly, is bringing on the people that come to be our guests. Like they're friends, they're families, but like I've always told them before we even get started recording, I say, look, it's about you on this episode. We're giving you the platform. It's not about me, YBB Banks. Like, it's about who we bring on to the podcast. So every episode is really the best moment because we're letting somebody put out what they got going on in their lives, and hopefully somebody listening can connect with that. Like Mike's Rinse and Repair. Hopefully some people have went and took their shoes to him. Hopefully you went to D-Lo's shop and got a tattoo. Like, we just giving out this information, kicking this game that hopefully you absorb and you use it. Like, that's every episode is the best moment, to be honest.
Absolutely.
All right, so the next thing, music festival. So, Banks is the resident music head. So we're gonna let him start it off.
Well, I couldn't tell you about your local Bonnaroo's or your other. I know this year. me and Wabibi hit Dreamville Fest.
Yeah, we sure
Oh,
did.
shout out.
That shit
Definitely, and it hit us back.
was
But it was a great experience, man, because this being the first festival that Dreamville had, it got rained out. It was supposed to be last year, and it got pushed into this year. So we did end up going out there. The weather the day before was probably bad, so we was out there in the mud a little bit. It was a little unprepared in a sense, but you know, I had gas on deck. We had to stand in line for drinks. It was pretty crazy. But yo, the performances, I mean, it's an experience that you can't make up for, man. And seeing like Black, who else? We saw Boss.
Yep.
My man Luke, shout out.
We see Nelly.
J.I.D. Country Grammar was in there. Hot shit. Yeah, we definitely did that. 21 Savage came through.
Yep.
21.
Is there? Well, BB, you want to talk about?
Nigga, I'll
Want to
talk
carry
about
that
it.
on into the J. Cole? 'Cause
What happened?
I don't know what happened, but you know, I found you.
Nigga, I don't know what's going on, but I got so hot. I'm about passed out. There's so many niggas out there, bro. I'm like, y'all gotta get to the edge. I'm walking to the edge. I'm just knocking niggas over like, y'all gotta get to the edge. I ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, when you been out there all day, you trying to
Right.
eat and eat.
Yeah. And then so I get to the edge. I'm about to die. This girl see me. She like, "He want some water?" I'm like, yes. She gave me a water bottle. Like, nigga, I just want to drink this shit. I don't even care. I gulped that shit down. And that was cool for a second. And one bad thing I didn't like about the festival, there was no service at all.
service.
So I couldn't even text base like, yo, I'm over here. Nigga, it's 1,000 niggas out there. I don't know how nigga found me.
All I know is that he's within 20 feet of me somewhere. So I gotta look around and I gotta find this nigga. But like the whole time, everything is shoulder to shoulder.
Shoulder to shoulder.
You know, usually, you know, okay, if you're not right here, you like 3 feet around me somewhere. Bro, once we started moving and I realized this nigga wasn't behind me no more, I was like, oh shit, now what the fuck I'm about to do?
That shit
So
was crazy.
I just started moving around. I was moving people out my way. You know, everybody was mad at you because you can't even, ain't no room and don't nobody want to let nobody get in front of them because
True.
we all already tight packed in there.
That's true.
So I had to, you know, fight my way through. I played fullback in high school, so you know, I knew how to, I know how to lower my shoulder and get through to make a hole. So, you know, but yeah, found him on the edge. He was drinking water. Security had him. As soon as I seen him, I was stuck somewhere, but I was like, yo, that's my nigga right there. And I just got I got niggas out the way. And I got there. And actually, you know, being that people saw I was walking to an emergency, it was real comfortable for me to get over there. So I was chilling by the time I got to my nigga's aid. So
Well, let me ask this question then. So if they have it again, same spot next year, y'all definitely cop the tickets?
Dryfield, yes.
Dryfield, yes. Cell phone service, yes. That shit was dead. You couldn't do nothing out there.
Maybe it was by design, like they wanted y'all to experience it.
That's how
It could have been. It could have been.
That's how I felt.
It could have been. But then you want to, you know, I had some people coming in, some guys from college was coming in, and we couldn't connect because we couldn't find nobody.
True.
That's a bad thing, but I mean, it was cool all in all. Them lines was crazy as hell.
Yeah,
they had
food,
mad,
drinks.
vendors out there,
Yeah.
but it was just too many people, so every line was long. It was crazy.
And then the next day, you'd see everybody posted I was out there. It's like, I didn't even know you was
was
out
out
there
there.
because you couldn't let nobody no phone service, so you couldn't check nobody.
Nigga, I heard they was charging like $150 to $200 for the Uber leaving out of there. Good thing we drove. I was like,
we
nigga.
knew that. And I forgot my ticket in the car when we first walked
Oh
out.
yeah, and you had to go back.
Niggas had to troop it back to the car. I was like, yo, bro, just stay right here. I'm going to go come
But damn.
Good experience, though, man. Great time, though.
All right, moving on. We want to talk about some of the bloopers. I mean, there was plenty of bloopers. I don't even know what to say.
I
Like,
edited it out.
yo, straight up. Post-production is the key.
Shit.
I guess I'll leave it and end it right there.
There's a lot of mishaps with the words sometimes, or, you know, hey, we new to this, but we still true to this, so.
Hey, straight up.
Coughing on the mic plenty of times from me.
Party fouls.
Party files is crazy.
All right, so I think what people would like to know, you know, this is just me being a little bit conceited, is what do they expect next from Jack of All Spades CLT? We about to move into 2020. So us as the collective unit, like what are some of our plans moving into this next year?
Banks, you want to spearhead that one?
Go ahead, let me spearhead it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. As of late, I've been trying to keep myself more accountable with things. So I have no problem putting what my dreams and desires of things I'm going after out into the atmosphere around the right people, of course. But as far as Jack of all spades, I know this year we plan to do some bigger things. I won't speak on those, but I know we will have some events coming this year. We'll be more active. You'll probably see our faces more as far as on the screen or however we got to present it content-wise. I think that's the start for me. I think that's where we at. You, sir.
We will be more active in the community. You'll be better. You'll put the face to the name better. I think. What else? Production be better next year. We have some little tidbits we're gonna work on to better the production next year. More guests, variety of more guests. That's what I think is coming up for 2020 for us. There's more growth. DJ?
Yeah, growth is key. I mean, we don't want to be stagnant, but I think, Banks hit it right on the head. Not to diverge too much, but it's some events coming out. We don't want to speak on it too much, but it'll be some dope stuff that we're working on, trying to solidify and, just, like I said, get more into the community and let people see us out. Of course, you can hear us on the podcast, however you check in, but actually seeing us, and we may be doing some live stuff as well. So, just trying to move in that right direction, which is forward.
Yeah, move the needle forward. That's always the key.
Yes, sir.
I mean, well, that has been your 2019 recap of Jack of All Spades CLT. Y'all all know this by now, but if you're just now tuning in, you know where you can check us. You know where you can find us at. Come on, man. We got anchor.fm / Jack of All Spades, where we'll be streaming on iTunes, Google Play, Breaker. What else?
Shit. YouTube,
SoundCloud, Spotify. Was it Breaker? I mean, once again, there's so many different avenues that stream podcasts that I didn't even know until we got on Anchor. Right. But you can definitely find us right there.
We'll
of course, on Instagram, IG, Jack of All Spades CLT, where you can find all of our cartoons for the episodes, any pertinent information that we're going to be putting out. There may be another kickball, dodgeball situation coming up soon. That would be the great place to find any and all information. Once again, Jack of All Spades CLT on Instagram is where you can find us.
If for some strange reason you're not on IG, we're on Facebook too. So we got you covered. If you're not on IG, we're on Facebook.
Search Facebook. Jack of All Spades is a CLT or just Jack of All
CLT.
Spades? Jack of All Spades CLT, pretty much on all social media platforms. Also, that's the YouTube channel.
Yes, YouTube channel as well.
So there you have it. So people, we're just trying to make this thing into something, man. Like, started off as a hobby, hopefully can bring some dollars in maybe in the future. But it ain't even about that. Like, we're doing it because we love doing it, and from the feedback that we've gotten from people listening, it gives us motivation and it gives us the fuel to continue doing this. Because if people wasn't rocking with us, we probably just let this shit die.
True.
But, people reaching out, they like what we doing, so we're gonna keep pushing.
Straight up.
So as always, I'll be that boy, the beloved one, DJ Spellman.
I'll be Banks on the beat, Blue Water Banks. Holla at me.
And I'll be YBB, POF Africa. Shout out DRC. See y'all in the new year.
Yes. And last but not least, we got little bro, the Red Ranger, Jason Spellman in the building, man. He went to the bathroom, but he'll be back soon enough. All right, man. We out.
We out.